up, everybody? Oh, that's not good.
What's the matter? Hello?
Hello?
I'm here. I hear you. Do you hear me?
When I got my clapper machine plugged into a certain sounds or a certain power source, sometimes you get that humming. And I just realized that happened. So, no clapper for just yet. Welcome, everybody.
You're breaking my heart.
I'm sorry. Give me a second. I might be able to. Hold on.
No, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm sure we can live without it. For one show. Or for
I found you can actually use Discord. Let's see. But hey, welcome everybody to the show. We are here. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you. Oh, can you hear that?
I hear you. I don't hear any clap track.
No. I just was wondering if you heard that boop. Badoop?
No.
Oh, good.
Just hear you. We should tell everybody, in case you're wondering why everything is so clear in Ryan's picture, he finally stepped up and got a 4K camera.
Yeah. I got me a new camera. I got my laptop or my PC up and running, which you can see behind me. So I thought it's time to upgrade, get some better quality equipment. But yeah, appreciate everybody popping in today. We got really not kind of much to talk about as actual news because we're so close to the draft and there's nothing solid or concrete to actually speak on.
Signed Trent Taylor. Woo!
Let's talk about that.
Super Bowl ring confirmed.
Super Bowl ring. You want to talk about that right now?
Whenever.
Well, tell me your thoughts on it.
Nothing burger when he was here. Nothing burger when he was with the Bengals. Nothing burger with him coming back, other than like the feel good buddy story of him and Kittle.
Now, give him credit. The first year he was
2017. He tore it up.
Oh man, it was nasty. But he got injured. He got injured, and it wasn't like the same.
Broke his back.
Yeah, but he knows the 49er way. He understands what's asked of him. He's a guy. He'll go all out for us if needed.
He could be a good wide receiver 6. I think he'll be practice squad. Call up if needed.
I'm more excited as Connolly re-signing than
much
Trent, right?
Much oodles, miles. I really like Chris Conley. I really liked him in camp. I really thought he should have made the 53 in 2023. And I wasn't surprised when he showed out in the playoffs, in the playoff run. Stretch run to the playoffs, I guess we should say.
Looks like we got Alex Simpson in the house. What up, Alec? He's got that juice.
From across the pond. Welcome, Alec.
Well, Alex from across the pond. Oh, appreciate you,
absolutely.
Sir.
Yeah, he's part of the,
is he part of the
Faithful UK? Absolutely. Yeah, he was there for the Bucks game when 36 of those lads made the trip across the pond to join. They invited John Chapman and me and Ty Alston, were the 3 creators from this side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fun. Good times. And we won. So that's even better.
We got Carcast in the chat. What up, Carcast? Make sure to go check him out. He's a young, flourishing content creator for the 49ers. He's actually been interviewing draftees. So make sure to go check out what he's got going on his channel.
Nice. Yeah. The only bummers about the Bucks game, Huff towards ACL. And they didn't let us go down on the field. We were in the gold mine, and a lot of times they let the gold mine people go down on the field and hobnob with the players and the VIPs and stuff. And didn't happen for us. But hey, what are you going to do?
They should have made an exception. You travel that far.
I know.
Travel that far. You should
8,000
move
miles.
mountains. You know what I'm saying? They should move some mountains.
7,000 miles. Exceptions. It's a long way, whatever it is. 6,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a haul.
It's a lot of quid.
That's a lot of quid.
That's a lot of quid.
And the airfare and the hotels and transportation and food. And it adds up quickly. And I would say tickets, but the gold mine is actually gratis. You got to work your rear end off when you're in that section, though. They make you work for it for sure.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull up the John Lynch statement. You said you hadn't heard it.
I mean, I've seen excerpts from it, and
oh, did you?
It sounded like a lot of the same stuff they said about DeForest Buckner, which was like, oh, we expect him to be a Niner, or we'd like him to be a Niner until the end of his career, and la 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 la. I think they mean it more with Aiyuk than they did with Defoe, but
I think
everybody has their price, Ryan. We know this, and I guess the question for me to you would be, we've heard several scenarios, right? We've heard Steelers 20th overall pick. That was early on when they were saying that Brandon Aiyuk and Tomlin were basically twins. And then we've heard Jacksonville Jags at 17. They obviously lost Calvin Ridley. And then more recently, we started hearing the LA Chargers, Harbaugh, they jettisoned all of their top wide receivers from Keenan Allen to Mike Williams. And I think even their third guy too, all hit the road this offseason, whether it was, trade or just, their contracts were up and they let them walk. So Chargers are in deep need of a real wide receiver who can step in and produce, day one, week one. And top 5, assumably you might be able to get Marvin Harrison Jr. if he doesn't go 4th to Arizona Cardinals. And there's a lot of talk about that too, though. So that'll be interesting to see.
So that definitely has some legs. If somebody wants to go up and get it, and a veteran wide receiver that blocks, that's Harbaugh gets a hard on for that.
Absolutely, as you should. And but there is talk that that some teams might want to move up to the card spot to take. I think I saw a rumor where they were saying Vikings, who basically have no QB unless you count Sam Darnold. Go on, like, who are we kidding? That they might move up to that number 4. They might make just like the Niners don't really want to trade Aiyuk, but you make them an offer they can't refuse. Everybody has their price, and so do the Cards at number 4, to where if you just throw a bunch of picks at them, they pretty much have to move down, grab a slightly less valuable receiver, but you can plug in a lot of other holes on that team that they need to fill with these other picks they would get in the trade down. In the name I heard was Vikings, and JJ McCarthy, the Michigan quarterback, maybe might go 4th overall if Jaden Daniels is gone at that point, assuming that it's Caleb Williams number 1 and Drake May 2 and Jaden Daniels 3 overall. QB, which would be unusual, but that's what happened with us in 2021 with Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance. So just look at how well those guys turned out. So
it was supposed to be a deep draft too.
It was
supposed to be a deep draft. Everybody
lined
isn't up.
But people are just so QB hungry. They're just like, we don't care. It's a QB. He's got a pulse. Sign him up. Draft him.
What I see is I think the 49ers can pay Brandon Aiyuk $27 million. I believe they can make it done. Get it done. They're trying to save every penny they can at this point with this long drawn out process. I think it is. So they might save one, they might save 2 million. Shout out to Alec. He says, what do you think the 49ers first offer was? I heard that it was 22 million. So that's why Brandon Aiyuk was a little pissed, because he's thinking 27, because that's what the going rate is. Also, I've been listening to the Pat McAfee show in the morning a lot lately. And like, everybody wants a Brandon Aiyuk. Like Boston Connor wants Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, Tone Diggs, he wants Brandon Aiyuk. Everybody wants Brandon Aiyuk. So to me, I think the 49ers want Brandon Aiyuk because they know exactly what they have. They know they're in the right position. They have some sort of leverage, but not all. And I think what they're just trying to do is get him to come down off of 27 to something like 25. But I think they're going to have to settle around
24, right in between 22 and 27, right?
He's getting 26. To me, he should get 26. He might get 25. They might get him down to that. But
I mean, I think you could do, I think 26 based off of, you know, we're going to go off Devonta Smith, right? From the Eagles, getting 3 years, 75, so 25 mil a year. You know, but if you go more years, then you can typically go less per year. So you could go, you know, even if you're saying 3 years, 20, which would be 78 million for Aiyuk, maybe you could go 4 years, 100 and stay at that 25 number.
I'm not trying to get hung up on money. My real point is I think the 49ers got this. They're just trying to figure out how much they're going to pay him. So for somebody to come by and initiate a trade, it's going to have to be a knockdown trade, because the window is open right now. The window's open. You're not going to be throwing away or trading away your man beater wide receiver on your last visible window of last visible open window year. You know what I mean? You're make it or break it year. You're not going to be shaking all that up unless it's a deal that will blow you down.
Yeah, like if I think I heard someone mention if Troy Fotanu from Washington, the offensive tackle, is on the board at 17, we might trade with the Jags to get because he has a lot of the physical characteristics of Trent Williams. And what's the good of Aiyuk if you can't get the ball to him, Debo, Kittle, and McCaffrey, because you got this guy in your face every time from the right side. Whenever they need to, they can get pressure.
So you're going to hurt yourself in one part of your offense to try and get somebody like, so you're getting the left tackle from Washington, right? That's the guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So their right tackle moved to right tackle because he used to be the left tackle.
Rosengarten.
Yeah. So he was moved to the right side because he needed to protect Penix's blind side.
Yep.
This man could play right or left. He's the more talented of the two, I'm thinking. He was highly.
Saying Fatanu is more like top 15.
He was a higher
prospect. Rosengarten's a stretch to take at 31, but
he was a higher prospect coming out of high school. There's lots of things to point to. Who cares if he was playing right tackle? This guy can show him that he can play highly capable football on both sides. So I don't understand why you would give up Brandon Aiyuk to go get a tackle when you might have the better tackle from that team fall to you without having to move. And I'm okay with going up a couple spots. I don't think we need to come away with from this draft with 10 players. But I don't want to see us leverage something like Brandon Aiyuk. Like I don't even want a first for Brandon Aiyuk. I wanted 2 firsts for Debo. You know why? Because he wasn't for sale. So you want to get a Brandon Aiyuk, you're gonna have to knock me down. I need 2 firsts. It's what are you gonna do? How do you get something that's not for sale? You have to offer over the valued price for it. And I'm sorry, I'm not willing in this situation in time to give up Brandon Aiyuk for some draft picks that I can't guarantee can plug and play exactly where I need them this next year.
hear you, and there is a logic to it that says, Brandon Aiyuk is kind of one of the key gateway players to the next generation of 49ers greatness because he's young, and there aren't a lot of young players left on the team. It's like him and Lenore, and
he's like Jimmy Ward in 2011.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's that new guy coming in. He's gonna set a tone. He's gonna be the stable dude for years to come. And he's like that bridge player that reminds everybody coming in, hey, you all those people that you looked up to on this team, they played it this way. This is how you have to do it. You know what I mean? Or better. This is how you have to do it, or better. That's how we got there. Real quick. Let's give a shout out. We got Jess from the East Coast Red and Gold podcast. Sorry, my clapper isn't working today. Make sure to go check her out. They have a great show on Wednesday. Her, Ty Alston, Bex, and
Maddie B.
Maddie B. I don't know how I forgot about Maddie B. And we also got John LaJoy in the house. What up, John? Appreciate you stopping in, sir. Oh, see, we got the clapper.
I can be there. I'm not quite as talented, but hey.
At least your lights aren't turning on and off.
That'd be funny. Also,
got a strobe light over here.
A computer. Oh man. Clap on. For the youngsters, there used to be a device called the clapper. You plug it into your outlet and you turn your whatever on beyond it. Whenever you clap, you go clap twice loud, it would turn off. And so you didn't have to get up. It was really good for lazy people on the couch. Falling asleep, watch TV, just like TV and lights go out, or just the lights go out, and you can pass out watching TV without getting up. It's a beautiful thing.
My grandma was in her mid-70s when that came out, and she laughed at that. Why the heck you just get up and turn it off? Like, why would you pay money for that? This is designed for her, and she wants no part of it.
Was it designed for her though, Ryan, or was it designed for somebody who's just like blazed to the bejesus on their couch? Like, bro, I can't get that up. You don't. Well,
potato
chips on his.
If you're that blazed, something like the lights isn't going to mess with you. You're just going to go to sleep anyways. You'll worry about the lights later when you wake up from your nap and you want to go back to it, and the lights are bugging you. Just saying. That's
fair.
I had a soda one time, put me to sleep in like 20 minutes.
Really?
Holy moly. Oh, it wasn't even a full soda. My buddy was like, hey, you want to try this? I was like, yeah, sure. One guy takes a sip. Me and my other buddy, we shared it half and half. And oh man, within you know how you're not supposed to fall asleep at people's houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like barely keeping awake, and I'm like, oh man, I can't. And I look over, and he's passed out, and I'm like, well, screw it. Like if he's out, I could go out too. Like,
did they chief you?
No, it was just a soda. It was like a.
No, I know, but I mean, not like chief is a term we used to use. I don't know, back when people would drink too many beers at a party and they'd pass out, and you'd like paint their face, or even worse, like crazy glue a bottle cap to their thumb, to a thumbnail, or just all kinds of twisted stuff to like teach them a lesson for passing out at a party.
Who wants to do that when the bear is eventually going to wake up and they can find you?
Well, yeah, you're a big guy, but some for people that are less imposing, it's not as scary of a proposition.
I never.
Plus, they don't know who did it either. It's like
I never did that stuff.
I never be like, I know it was them.
Yeah.
So.
No, it was all good.
It's probably politically incorrect to use that term anymore, but that's what we called it back then. So
I've seen people with stuff drawn on their faces.
Whether it's politically correct, I apologize if I offended anyone.
So we kind of talked on the rumors about where he could go. To me, I want to get back to the John Lynch press conference.
All right.
I think you said it sounded a lot like DeForest Buckner. the situation with DeForest Buckner. I just think that it's a different situation. It's not like you're choosing between two players to give a contract to in the same position room.
Yeah, because we don't have any other good wide receivers. You're right.
Well, no, I mean, like, you're not having two contracts come up at the same time in the wide receiver room that are.
I mean, not this year, comparable. Maybe not next year, but in a year or two, you got
right
still here,
which you can be
paying a lot of money for your wide receiver room,
which you can be planning for with this contract, right?
Right.
But what I'm saying is they're not going head to head right now to where you're having. This is like you're seeing two different girls.
I mean, right? They're almost more head to head if we don't extend Aiyuk and have him play the 5th-year option and franchise tag him. That the cap hits are actually more punitive short term in that scenario than if we work out a deal and backload it. Then you're right. Then they're not going head to head if we can work out a deal.
Okay, but anyway, what I'm saying is you're not trying to sign two people to the same room at the same time as you were with DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead. So when you're getting offers for one and not the other, and the money seems better over here, you're talking about, oh, well, I was gonna, try and maybe trade Eric, or I was gonna have to just cut him or make him play out this thing. But now I can get first round compensation for DeForest Buckner and then save money on the contract that I was gonna pay Buckner over here. And then I'm already scouting guys. The 49ers today, they were talking about how they're scouting people from the fall college season already. And that 87 of the players went back this year and didn't sign up for the draft. So they're constantly looking at guys. So when they made that decision, they were already probably thinking we're going to get ourselves a Javon Kinlaw or a Quentin Williams, or not a Quentin Williams. That was a different year. It was Bosa and Quentin Williams, but yeah. We're going to get ourselves a guy. And I don't see this to be the same situation. You kind of had with DeForest Buckner, you had two different guys, but they played the same position and they both got, they both had production in their own way. So it was kind of like you were picking between two things that both essentially were a good call. Like DeForest Buckner, obviously he pulls them sacks. He does a great job with that. But Eric Armstead stopped the run. He was a run stuffer all those years. So to be able to have that in our wide 9 defense, which is vulnerable to runs, that was handy. And we ended up getting first round compensation out of it instead of maybe what do you think you could have got for Eric Armstead?
3rd rounder, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. 3rd rounder. So it's whatever you're,
No, the problem wasn't trading DeForest Buckner as much as it was picking Javon Kinlaw with the pick. And that's why I would hope if we get a first round pick for Aiyuk that we don't use it on a wide receiver. We use it for a different position and then take a wide receiver later since it's a wide receiver deep draft. And that way it's not like, oh, we traded Aiyuk for you. Now you got to be Aiyuk.
Terradome today. Terradome said, yeah, let's just trade Brandon Aiyuk for first round pick up there high. Let's pick a wide receiver. We'll give him number 11.
Jokingly. Yeah.
And I was just thinking to myself, well, why not 12? So, because it'll show everybody he's better.
Yeah,
he's one more better than Aiyuk. Whatever.
Definitely not 10. We haven't had good luck with that number.
Hey,
Real quick, Frank Tom Ocean in the house. He says I look like Mike McGlinchey. Well, I weigh more than Mike McGlinchey, but he's about 8 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do anymore. What does he weigh in at these days? What do they have him list? Let me look him up.
We also have the Sentinel football channel. Make sure to go check the Sentinel out. We've got good stuff going on over there. He is not the same echo chamber that you'll find around the media, I would say. And it's refreshing to go check out some of his takes.
All right, I take that back. I lied. I was
Crazy Juice.
I was quite a bit heavier than McGlinchey. I was well up over 330 not too long ago. But I've been riding bikes with my 4-year-old son, traditional bike riding, but more importantly, the pump track riding and getting pumped up. And now I think I'm below 300 now. So it's been good. Lost definitely over 30 pounds so far.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. Our pump track's been closed for the last 2 weeks, including now it looks like it's closed this week again too. So we've been doing a pump track tour of Northern California, or Bay Area, and San Francisco Bay Area, Monterey Bay Area. And today we thought it was going to be open, and we didn't have much time before the show. And so we went to our usual one, and it was closed. I'm like, all right, let's try this skate park that's near our house that we've never tried before. So we went and did that. And it was a lot of fun. Not super bike friendly. I mean, the people were friendly, but the park itself wasn't. I'd been to one in Scotts Valley near Santa Cruz where I went to the pump track. And the skate park was actually pretty fun. And more importantly, you could get out on a bike. The problem with this one by my house now called Burgess is like you can ride around in the empty swimming pools, but like there's no good way to get out. Like every time I tried to exit, I like hit my chain ring on the edge as I was getting out. So it was not ideal from that perspective, but it was fun and something different. And anyway, I don't want to bore people with a lot of bike talk on a football.
You need more velocity.
No, no, or less weight.
Send you in outer space.
Luckily, like I said, the weight's coming down pretty rapidly, and I'm not really dieting or anything. Like I used to have to cut carbs to lose weight, and I'm not doing that. I'm eating plenty of carbs, and it's been going well. My wife wanted me to do Ozempic, and I was like, no, I'm going to stick to pump track. So,
hey, whatever works for you, really.
Yeah.
Got to give another shout out. We had more people jump in the chat here. We got Red Jet Shell. Make sure to go check her out. She's on Terradome's channel on Thursday mornings, I believe. I don't know if that's just what I've noticed as a pattern. I don't know if that's
a new profile picture. I don't recall seeing fishnets before.
Oh, I've seen that one before.
Hey,
she got her business.
Maybe I just never noticed before, but maybe it's your 4K camera. It's coming in a lot clearer now.
I'm gonna learn today. Have you ever seen that Kevin Hart?
No, but he's hilarious. Absolutely, I love Kevin Hart.
Gonna learn it. We got Aaron from 49ers First Takes. What up, Aaron? Appreciate
What's up, Aaron?
Sorry, I don't have my clapper going.
Oh, here. Yeah.
Oh, see, come on, where are we at?
Yeah.
We got from X, we've got Manny House Africa. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it was emojis or something.
Giving us a salute. Welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we got Crazy Juice in here saying if we do trace someone, I feel like it Elijah Mitchell. That very well could be true. I could see that. Yeah.
I just don't know what you get for him. Like, what do you think? A 7th, a 6th?
No. I think you could get a 4th or a 5th.
Ooh, a 5th would be good. We do well with 5th. 4th, not so much.
Well, if you listen to John Lynch's press conference today,
including one of our more notable 4th round picks, Spencer Burford.
So if you listen to the press conference that was yesterday, John Lynch it seemed like he was tampering everybody's expectations for the end of the draft this year. He was saying earlier he alluded to they had out of 300 something guys, they had 87 of those prospects, 83 or 87 of those prospects stay in college because of NIL. So that only leaves something like 260 prospects that they were looking at or thought
6th and 7th rounders aren't worth as much, you're saying, because those guys typically wouldn't have been drafted maybe a year or two ago when people weren't.
Well, the guys that we would
NFL because they couldn't get paid in college back then, right?
Right. So I think the guys that we would normally expect to take in those rounds are staying an extra year to get more money if they can.
Move up. Yeah, sure.
And
they found me.
I was I was watching Niner Faithful radio stream yesterday. It was Media and Anshel from 49er Media and Jason on there talking. I heard sirens in the background, and I said, that sounds like Lakewood there. Because Jason lives down south, kind of by Tacoma, which is in a very good place.
A little tough, sketchy neighborhood, a little bit.
And I'm sitting there working, I texted, I think this sounds like Lakewood, and then I get back to doing my job.
Oh, I remember Lakewood. We drove through it to go to that park out on the water. There's this beautiful park out on the water, but to get there, you got to go down through Lakewood, and then you make a left, and you meander through some neighborhoods.
Don't stop.
And you don't stop. No, because there's like bars on the windows, and and then you get out to the lake. Is it a lake or is it a sound or whatever it is out there? It's a beautiful body of water. This beautiful park that leads down to the water, and they got a little cabin out there, and these people they had like a breakfast out there. It was last year Mother's Day when I was up there for my wife's cousin's wedding, and it was like 90 degrees every day in Seattle. It's so freaking hot in that town. That town is not built for that kind of heat. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But it was fun. It was beautiful. I mean, when it's pretty in the Pacific Northwest, there's not many places beat it. That's for sure.
It's gorgeous.
But what's it called? Lakewood?
Yeah, Lakewood.
Yeah,
he was like,
it was rough. There was a lot of, shut down businesses, boarded up businesses, and like interesting people walking around on the sidewalks.
My cousins got robbed at gunpoint in the Kmart parking lot there.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, I remember going through there for sure. So it is a new profile pic.
Yeah,
I was right. I was gonna say I don't remember ever seeing like the, provocative side of Red Jet Shell.
Oh, yep. Always knocking it out of the park one way or another. Either that jacket game or the fishnets, I guess. I keep getting this buzzing. I don't know what the hell's.
Is it your computer?
I don't know, but it's annoying the crap out of me.
Can you hear it? Rainbow lights going back there. I like that.
Oh, the rainbow. Yeah. That's my RAM.
Oh. Pause. Rainbow RAM. Oh boy. Ryan.
Uh-oh. Here I'm getting in trouble. Provocative equals dressed like a personnel, not fishnets. They're Fendi stock. Sorry. I'm not up with the Fendi. I don't understand.
Oh, it's high fashion. I know that. That's all I know.
It's hard to tell on the little thing. Not that I would know that it was the Fendi logo. Just saying. If I could see it, I still wouldn't be like, oh, Fendi. That just means that she got her stuff. She's high class.
There you go.
Even the stocking's on point. So yeah, draft prospects. Who do you think the 49ers are taking? If they stay at 31, who do you think is going to fall to the 49ers that they are going to pick?
Chop Robinson.
No,
I'm joking. That would be pandemonium if we took a defensive end or a D tackle. It would be. I wouldn't be surprised if we did, but it would be. 49ers Twitter would be. It would be. Now I heard the buzz there.
See, I don't know what the hell is going on.
But,
go ahead, talk.
Yeah. Who do I think? I mean, I'm like I said, I'm hoping. I mean, I still hope we move up for Brock Bowers. I'm gonna just keep making my plea for a real tight end to go across from George Kittle, and more importantly, somebody to be his heir apparent eventually. I mean, the sad part is we might have to trade Kittle to get him, but with that pick from Aiyuk, that would probably get us into that range potentially.
I figured out what it was.
Yeah.
It was my audio interface plugged into the clapper that wasn't turned on. All of a sudden, the thing that wasn't turned on is making the other thing buzz.
Pause.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. No need to pause. Just let everybody assume whatever they want. They can make up their own little happy little ending.
Pause. You're just walking right into them today, Ryan. That's like
never care. It's all about the jokes, anyways.
It is. Definitely what makes it fun. No, I mean, I've been saying all along priorities for this draft: right guard, right tackle, tight end, defensive tackle, defensive end, middle linebacker, safety, corner. Not in that order, though. I think right guard, right tackle has got to be early, or a center who could play guard.
So if you needed one to play this year, whether it was offensive guard or right tackle, and you felt you could either get one of those in the first round, what position are you going for?
Tackle.
And so this is why this is interesting to me, is because unless a tackle, one of the good tackles falls, we might be kind of reaching.
Yeah.
And I feel that if we there's a center, a really good center, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but if he falls, I think he's better to pick up there and then try to remaneuver to get back up into early second round to then go and grab the tackle. The Rosenberg bomb, whatever.
Rosengarten. Yeah.
Rosengarten.
Or there's the guy with the 2 P's, Paul Pierce.
It seems like the 49ers are smitten with Rosenbaum. I heard something like they've talked to him like 5 different times or something like that.
Well, he was coached by Ed McCaffrey, right? And also
Joe Staley and all this stuff. Yeah. So I have a feeling that that's their guy. And to me, I would rather try and pick up both. Because look, I don't care if you spend 2 or 3 picks this year trying to move back up in the second round. Like those John Lynch already said, hey, the later rounds aren't going to be stacked with gems this year. That's, to me, what I heard from him. So
and even if they were, could we find them without Adam Peters?
That's another thing. So if that's the case, why worry about keeping some of those later round draft picks? Let's move up and make sure we get guys.
But don't the other teams know this too? So then doesn't it devalue those picks to where you don't get, you can't move up as much as you would want? I don't know. Yeah, if they haven't figured it out and it works, then yeah, absolutely. Burn some picks. We don't have 10 needs on this team.
No.
That's for sure. What did I list? I listed 3 on offense and 4, 5, 6. Oh, actually, I mean, we got 7 or 8 pretty big needs. And then I think honestly the hidden need is running back, because like we said, maybe we'll trade Elijah Mitchell. I don't know about that. I just think until we have at least one running back that we trust to take carries from McCaffrey when he's not injured or tired, just because Kyle trusts him enough to split carries on a regular basis, then I think you got to keep trying for another running back too.
No.
And McCaffrey's getting older too.
So we've got a great track record on finding guys, this and that. It's not McCaffrey. Kyle's never going to give McCaffrey time off. McCaffrey doesn't want time off unless he's busted. Even then, probably. McCaffrey is like a hockey player. He's got the grit of a hockey player. Like, doesn't matter unless it's falling off, then it's not an issue. I've got a job to do. You know what I mean? Like, that's what he is. So to me, I don't see that happening. So I don't want to bank for that. We already keep the stables full. Stables are always full.
Yeah, but the offense was never really unlocked until we got McCaffrey. And you saw it with Jimmy G and with Brock Purdy. Now, we haven't really seen Purdy without McCaffrey, but you can assume it would be a pretty big drop-off. If it was full-time, if it was for any extended period of time.
I wouldn't argue that there would be a drop off because I think he's so crucial in the check down role. And he makes great catches. So I don't think everybody is as talented in the passing game as him. So yes, there would be a fall off, but when it comes to running the ball, he's not the only person who can run the ball in the league. He's the best running back. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there's other guys who can run the ball also and give him a break, but we won't see that happen unless he's busted. He does not want to come out. That's his thing. He's the only one on the team who gets to call his own shots, essentially. He gets to say, no, I want all. And I think that's kind of weird. That might change some sort of the culture in the team over time. Because think about it. You got a guy essentially he's being selfish, and we don't be selfish, right? So maybe other people start thinking, well, if he can do it, then why can't I? So it's kind of interesting to me. I just don't run it back. I don't see that. And also look at what we've done in the off season. We've loaded up our depth. So either, and that could be because of the draft class. They might have saw this coming and started loading up because the draft class wasn't going to be as deep. And if that's the case, then a lot of these guys might not make the team just because we're holding all our weight in free agents.
So Mr. Irrelevant might be more like end of the 5th round instead of end of the 7th.
Yeah. I could see that, especially like if you're moving up, if you're saying, hey, take my 2nd rounder and my 6th and my 7th and let me get, the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. I'm okay with that. Cool. Let's go. As long as you're getting the other offensive lineman. We need a good guard and we need a good tackle. Feliciano got hurt last year. We can't.
Maybe we could make the trade with the Commanders since they do have Adam Peters, and he probably could pluck some gems out of the 6th and 7th rounds. Maybe that's the answer. Or the Titans, who have Rand Carthon, who are thought to be 2 of our best scouts that have left the team in the last 2 years. Maybe one of those teams would be more willing to pay for a 6th and 7th round pick with that better probability of hitting in those later rounds.
Yeah. Especially, I would say especially Adam Peters. This is his first draft. Him to be able to get a lot of darts on the board. You know what I mean? It should make his life easier for next year's draft because it'll take less positions that he feels he needs to fix or get better at. You know what I mean? The more darts
we talk about all our late round hits like Kittle in the 5th, Dre Greenlaw in the 5th, Hufanga in the 5th, Lenore in the 5th, obviously Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, Juwan Jennings in the 7th. There's many, many more, but we never talk about how many other picks there were in those rounds, do we? So if there's 3 or 4 other picks, then it kind of makes it not quite so amazing that you hit on one of them of the 3 or 4, right? So I think you're right. It's like that. There's no pictures on the box score type of thing. It doesn't matter how it looks, just matters how it ends up at the end of the day.
Well, think about this. If you're like hitting on in the 1st round is 50%, right? So let's just, I don't know what the numbers are, but let's just say
if you're doing it well, you only miss half the time. Yeah.
So let's just say that throughout the whole draft, you got a 50% chance of hitting on somebody. So if you give somebody 2 late round picks, that's one player that you keep. You know what I mean? And out of those 2 picks, average says you're going to get one that you're going to keep. And that's big.
It's probably more like 1 out of 3 than 1 out of 2.
Right. I'm just saying for this situation,
still, like you're saying, you put enough darts or arrows in the quiver, something's you're more likely to get a hit. Absolutely.
Bound to hit.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah. What else? We got like 15 minutes.
We don't have to just stretch it out. We can save it up for next week. There'll be plenty to talk about next week after the draft.
So who do you got at 31? Do you think the 49ers could, real quick, do you think the 49ers could move up without trading a Brandon Aiyuk in the first round? Do you see that? Is there anything?
Sure. Use picks, especially using future picks, like maybe, a first from next year, which is probably equal to a second this year. Maybe package like this year's second and a first from next year and move pretty far up in this first round. 2 seconds is equal to a first easily. I think a second and third is equal to a first. So 2 seconds is equal to more than an average first. So you might be able to move into the top 10, top 8 with this year's second and next year's first, something like that. If you really see somebody you like in that 7 to 10 range, I could see that.
And I only see them moving down if they know they've got.
Well, that was the comment from David McNiner. He said, Lynch has 22 players with first round grades and we pick at 31. The math ain't mathing. So assuming that all 22 of those players get picked before, 31, which I think you expect at least 1 or 2 of them to be there anyway, because our grades are different than the other team's grades. And some teams will pick for need more than BPA or whatever. But just say they're all gone, then moving back makes sense too at that point. If you don't think anybody's worth it, then you try and see what you can get and add more picks. And then again, you could try and maybe get 2 second-round picks or.
So, but one of those 22 players could be another team's 31st or 32nd, or you know what I mean? Because
and so they may want to trade up for him to get that 5th year of control.
We like team leaders, captains, stuff like that. So not other teams place such clout on it. You know what I mean? They don't place so much emphasis on it. And I noticed, I was hearing, who was it? Will Anderson. Will Anderson was talking about meeting other guys around the league at, I can't remember where he went, like Super Bowl or All-Star Weekend or whatever, or Pro Bowl. And he was saying, everybody's like, you call me up, have a coach call me, you know what I mean? Hit me up. I want to come over and play with you guys, Stroud, and this and that. And he said, we've got a different atmosphere around here. Not just anyone can play. So D'Amico's taking the same cues. I can already hear it from Will Anderson, just the way he explained. We got a different outfit. Most people won't cut it over here because we're looking for certain people for our,
to go to the playoffs and win a playoff game with a rookie coach and a rookie QB, that's never been done. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
real
great
quick,
job.
I just want to call out Willie Rodriguez in the house.
What up, Willie?
Also,
Clapper.
Darwin's Raven. That's Levi in the house. What's up, Levi?
What up?
So he's agreeing that the Baltimore has 20 first-round grades. So even less. They're even pickier. Is it DaCosta? Is that the name of the GM for the Ravens? I think that's the guy's name. They do good work out there in Baltimore with their draft picks.
And maybe they might not be pickier. Maybe just their criteria is different. It doesn't have to necessarily be pickier. It just can be that
could be different needs. Yeah.
The players aren't matching up to their normal criteria. And it can be. Normally that's the 49ers said they have 16 golden helmets in this draft altogether.
There we go. He says, yes, 16. Sir. EDC is what we call them for short. So I guess it's Eric DaCosta. I don't think it's Ed. Isn't there like a music festival called EDC or something like that in Vegas? Like it's like electric dance.
Okay.
EDM
is electronic dance music.
Right. And that's a genre though. That's just a general. But there's like a music festival for like that type of music. It's EDM music, and I'm pretty sure it's in Vegas. And you go. And
I used to listen to C89.5 when I worked at the beer company because it's got that up tempo stuff. It's got no commercials because it's like anyway, no commercials, and you just go in and you got this up tempo stuff going on.
So,
also, it's cool.
Electric Dance Carnival. Thank you, Levi.
They had the kids with speech impediments. They had them do the on air video ad reads, not video, the on air ad, and it would make them get better at speaking. So they'd stutter or have a lisp, and like you could hear, because they one guy would get the job for, one or two people would get the job for like the whole year, and you could hear them getting better throughout the year. It was sometimes I got a little emotional at the end of the year because like
Misty
100. It was gone. It was gone, and I was just thinking, oh, thank goodness you did it. You know what I mean? Like they had to power through that, and you know what I mean? It was all on them, and man, crazy stuff what the mind can do.
Very cool. Levi was saying, I wonder if maybe those two players might be the tackles like Mims and Guyton, guys with not a lot of starts. I sure hope we don't have Mims with a first-round grade. The guy is like, I think he has 17 starts or something like that, and then never played more than 40% of a game or something ridiculous like that, or 40 snaps in a game. Whatever it was like ridiculously, you're just going purely off traits and, and super, super limited production and assumably, injury prone, and that just scares the pants. It reminds me of Kinlaw.
Look, if he can fall to the 4th or the 5th, okay, yeah, take a shot.
Yeah.
But
no, he'll go in the 1st or 2nd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we're not in a situation to take risks at this point. We need to snipe these first 2 picks. We really do. Whatever they are, we need 2 people. And hey, question, what's the probability you think that the 49ers might draft a linebacker with the 31st?
It's high. I think there's no guaranteeing that Dre Greenlaw will ever be back, and pretty unlikely that he'll be back in 2024 to being himself. There's a big difference between okay to play and ready to ball out like Dre Greenlaw was before the injury. So I think I mentioned linebacker is one of our needs. I think it's one of the higher needs. I think it's sort of like right guard, right tackle, safety, corner a little bit less so now because of getting Yadam and the one I like better, Rock Yassin.
Yeah, Rock Yassin.
Rock Yassin, however you say
Rock Yassin.
I think that takes a little pressure off corner. At least not to take one. I mean, we definitely will still take one, just not as early. And then, like I said, a tight end who can block and catch. That's a novel idea, but do it. Get somebody where you're not tipping your hand every time he walks into the huddle. That like, oh, so and so's in, he can't catch. It's a run play. Oh, so and so's in, he can't block. It's a pass play. So, dang, Levi is.
Here's 2 people who didn't know, Levi. This statement was faulty statement. Why? What's wrong with Rock? Yes,
I think it's his coverage because he's a big hitter and good in the run fit. So it's got to be his coverage.
Well, I can see that, but I can also see why the 49ers like him.
Yeah, the Niners, they're like
he comes
blockers who can run block, and they like DBs who can run tackle the run.
Yeah,
run fit they call it.
So yeah, I think that's about it. Unless you got any other ideas of what.
Hence Isaiah Oliver last year. Look how well that worked out, Ryan.
If you guys don't know, Pat McAfee is going to be going live early before the draft with Bill Belichick on YouTube. So I think that should be something, if you guys have the time, check that out. I believe they weren't even going to do this, and Bill Belichick's like, no, I think you need to have a before special where we go through a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm curious to see what Bill is going to put out for us, what he's got lined up. Maybe it might be explaining on how they go through this draft, how a team would go through the draft, or they might explain movement during what we might see during the draft. I don't know. I just know I'm going to be tuning in.
All I know is if Bill Belichick says he likes a quarterback, don't draft him.
He drafted Tom Brady.
Yeah, but beyond that, he drafted one every year after that and never hit. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy
Garoppolo. Calm down. Give the man some credit. You can't hit everything.
Oh, come on.
I'm not saying he's, I don't know. I saw him talking the other day and I was like, oh, there's actually a cool dude.
And let's be real. If he was so good about knowing Brady was good, he wouldn't have waited to the 6th round to draft him, Ryan. So come on, I'm taking away credit for that too.
Not necessarily. If you're good at, hold on.
If you knew he was going to be that good, you take him from the freaking 1st round.
Okay. And the 49ers had been watching Brock Purdy for how long? And they were trying to get him as an undrafted free agent.
They were getting him to be a backup. They never expected him to be good enough to be the starter of the team and to unseat Trey Lance. Nobody expected that.
Everybody you draft, you are drafting to replace the person in their spot. If you're not, you're losing. No matter if it's in the 5th, the 6th of the round, there's something you see in that player that you think could take them to the next level. Do you think the 49ers do anything less? I'm not saying that they knew, Brock Purdy, this and that. Nobody does. This is all a crapshoot. We just talked about 50-50 in the 1st round. So when you can get somebody in the certain round, whether they're going to be the Hall of Fame quarterback forever, the number 1 quarterback forever, you don't know. You just know when you can get them. Am I wrong? And we don't even know if that's who he was intending to pick or if quarterback was on the list and Tom was there. We don't know. But what we do know is Bill Belichick signed him. He put him in charge and he won 6 Super Bowls with him.
There you go. I guess. Levi was saying that Rocky Scene didn't start despite guys like Marlon. I guess that's Marlon Humphrey missing the start season. Ronald Darby and Arthur Mollett all played ahead despite being older. And I think there might be some, and then that's a different thought he has there about the QBs with draft potential. Got my Brock Purdy guy.
Oh, you got your Brock Purdy. Yeah, Darwin Rayford, go check him out. He's got a great channel. He also does a lot of draft scouting. He's probably scouted over 130 guys this year, I'm guessing. Let me know if I'm wrong, but last year he had a big, huge. He's always got a big, huge list of guys. So make sure to check out Darwin's Raven. He streams during
he's
the
awesome. He came on with me before the Ravens game, and then he's been in the chats a few times. So thanks for supporting the channel. I appreciate it.
Yep, value is value. That's what I'm saying. Like if you can get somebody there and they're the best player ever, aren't you still just going to draft them where you thought instead? Like if they were the best player ever, you would just get them with the first pick, wouldn't let anybody give a chance. You're like, screw it. We got it.
Right.
Tom Brady locked up.
That's my point.
Yeah. Well, nobody.
So I don't give Belichick that much credit for lucking into Brady, just like I don't give our guys that much credit for lucking into Purdy. There's this dumb luck, and I mean, maybe it was Brian Greasy, I guess, liked him or whoever, but
there was multiple people that liked him.
Well, more and more as time goes on, Ryan. That's the funny way. Before the Super Bowl, they were all trying to
they were going to try and draft him the year before, but he stayed in.
Yeah, and then his draft capital dropped because he got injured and didn't play as well.
And you're forgetting, it was the year that, because of COVID, a lot of those players had like an extra year of eligibility. So there was kind of like 1.5 draft classes in his class.
There you go. So Levi is multitasking. He's watching film. Who are you watching right now, Levi?
But yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm just saying you guys should tune in to the Pat McAfee special.
You know what else Bill
Pre-game.
Belichick could never draft? It wasn't just QBs. It was wide receivers too.
So like I said,
decent one they drafted in all those years. They got some, free agents. Randy Moss and what was the little guy's name who was so good in the playoffs? Who went to high school around here. Edelman. But that wasn't a draft pick.
For the third time, go check out the Pat McAfee, Bill Belichick stream, the pregame, because I feel there's going to be something special and interesting in there. All right.
Do you think the defensive end?
Nope.
No, there's a top defensive end in the draft. Latu. You think he's related to Cameron Latu, our busted tight end that we drafted in the 3rd round last year?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I bet they're related.
I heard somebody talking about linebacker turned into something.
Remember, Cam Latu was an outside linebacker pass rusher turned into a tight end.
Okay, so it was Cam Latu.
Yeah. He was at like UCLA, or he was at LSU or something, and he transferred to UCLA to play tight end. And I wonder if this hot Latu D end is related. We'll see.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that Cam had some work to do. He was a reach, I think.
Huge reach.
I think Braden Willis is undersized, but I think he's going to just be a wide receiver.
Yeah, he'll be a slot receiver probably. Yeah, he's not. He just doesn't block well enough yet. Maybe he'll learn to block too. You never know. I mean, Aiyuk and Jennings sure did. So,
well, I think he blocks better in space than on the line. If I remember correctly, like he blocks better, doing like a use check block where you're coming around and you've got that space instead of being on the line blocking like Kittle normally does, next to the tackle. I think he's better at that. So, which is, if you're a wide receiver, that's great. You don't need to be on the line blocking like a tight end. You need to be blocking in space like Brandon Aiyuk does. So to me, I see him being like a Juwan Jennings type.
Interesting. They're kind of similar size. So
yeah, I think it's like our back.
Is a lot faster though.
I think it's our backup plan just in case Juwan Jennings doesn't. It's because I don't know. I kind of see us signing Aiyuk and then moving on from Debo maybe next year, and then keeping Juwan Jennings.
Makes sense. But I know you got to run, buddy. I don't want to make you look for work. Thank you.
Well, since we started early, we got time. But no, yes, we should wrap it up. There's probably nothing else to talk about.
I'm sure we could find something. Audience interaction always helps. So thanks, Levi.
And shout out to everybody in the chat today.
Sentinel and Crazy Juice, Manny House of Africa, Frank Tom Motion,
First Takes, Manny House Africa,
Alec, Carcast. I think
Jess,
most of them.
East
If
Coast
we
Radio
forgot you, please forgive us. We tried our best.
Oh, and with that, Ted, what do you got going on the rest of the week? Let everybody know.
Whole lot of nada.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, actually no. I mean, nothing scheduled, but maybe that's a good cue for me to put out some feelers. If anybody's wanting to collab with me at all, hit me up, and I'll probably hit some people up over the next few days. I would like to do a few shows this week.
What are you planning to do on
my
draft
Faithful
night?
Dogs one has gone by the wayside recently because Mike's been getting OT at work, and so God bless him, make that money. it's getting harder and harder to come by, especially here in the Bay Area. The economy is really bad here. I don't know about Washington, but there's a lot of layoffs, not just in tech, but biotech too. It's hurting in the Bay Area.
Yeah. I remember the last crash, I was working in the beer industry, and everybody was like, man, everything's going to shit. And I'm like, bro, everything's looking great over here.
Yeah, drown your sorrows, right?
Everybody was like, it's a good industry to get in bad situations.
There you go. Always money for beer.
It's just sad. It's just sad. But yeah, with that, we are out. We appreciate everybody. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Tune in for the draft. I might go live right as the pick happens. I don't know. I'm working on getting OBS up and running, and shows are going to change. It's crazy. There's some new stuff we can do. So with that, we are out.